I've just returned home from the London Marathon. This was my race number, and if you search for it, you won't find my result. And this is the story. Welcome to PKS Runs. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I don't post on here very often, but when I do, it's great content. And today I thought I would tell the story of my London Marathon experience. And it all starts back in April last year when I ran the Manchester Marathon in 2:59, which meant that I was eligible to enter as a good for age qualifying time for the London Marathon. I ummed and ahed for quite some time actually whether I was going to do the marathon. I don't like big events. I don't love the feeling of being around mass crowds. It doesn't really do my anxiety very much good, and I certainly don't love racing, if I'm honest. I enjoy running. I love running for the fun of it. I love going on long trail runs on my own. I love going for long road runs on my own. Racing has never really been my intention. It's been a way for me to handle my emotions, to deal with my mental health, to remain fit and healthy. And suddenly last year I kind of got the bug for marathon running and running fast. So anyway, fast forward a couple of months and I put my good for age application in for London. Having failed in the general ballot, I got my place and earnestly started training for the marathon. And I've had some hiccups along the way, various injuries. Before Christmas, I had a sort of a foot injury, kind of some sort of nerve damage in my toe, which I managed to get sorted. Had a bit of a disaster in Las Vegas. I entered a half marathon, thought I was going to do really well, really felt like I was in exceptional shape, and actually thought I was going to beat my personal best of 1:24:55. I genuinely thought I was going to be able to do it. As it happens, I didn't get past 9 miles. I just completely crashed. I was tired, I was jet lagged, I hadn't actually been to bed the night before. That's another whole story, but it didn't happen, and I limped off the course and just felt so rubbish after it. I got back into running after Christmas, after a bit of a time, bit of a break, was running well, did a 24-hour challenge with my local gym, Watergate Studios, and that was incredible. We all ran the equivalent of a marathon over 24 hours, so a mile every hour. I actually did some extra miles, so I did 40 something miles over the 24 hours, which was really cool. I was very happy with that. But anyway, did a long run the week after that, did 22 miles trail, hard, lots of elevation, was feeling in good shape, and slipped and twinged something in my groin. So this was where it all started to go wrong about 8 weeks ago. I wasn't able to run for about a week and a half, and when I was finally able to run, I went out and did a faster kind of speed session in some new shoes, which I tied too tightly, and I think it brought on this stress fracture in my foot, and I've not run since. That was 6 weeks ago, and it has been a really horrible 6 weeks. Firstly, just trying to deal with the emotion of, will I be able to run? Won't I be able to run at the London Marathon? I think I'd always hoped that I would be able to recover enough that I would at least be able to get to the start line and, even if slowly, run that marathon. But, as time has gone on, it has seemed less and less likely that was going to be an option for me. And I did my best to keep my general fitness up. I invested in a watt bike, which has been brilliant. I've been spinning every day. Well, most days. I've been going to the gym 3 times a week, so I've still been working on my strength, on my form, on my general condition, and I didn't make it to the start line. I went down to London this weekend, and I knew that I wasn't going to make it to the start line. I knew that I wasn't even going to get over it. My foot's been sore this week. I've been walking, but I still haven't run. And I thought in this video, I would just unpack some of this weekend, because it's been really hard, I'll be honest. Look, and I'm just going to say at this point, if you're not really interested in hearing the story and hearing how it went on, look, there's 101 other great videos, success stories about the London Marathon that you can go and watch. You don't have to watch this one, but if you want to find out a real story from a really average runner who has, just hasn't won, and I'm going to be quite honest, I'm going to be quite vulnerable with you today, then please do keep watching. And I tell you what, let's go one better than that. Would you mind just helping me out and just liking and subscribing to the channel? Because that would really encourage me. So here is the story. I drove down to London on Friday evening, stayed with my sister, and was already feeling just pretty sad, I'll be honest. I was feeling incredibly deflated about the fact that I was going to go up. I'd made the decision that I wanted to go, and I wanted to pick up my t-shirt. I wanted to pick up my race number, largely because if you get a good for age qualifying place, you can't defer it. So there was no option for me to defer this. There was no option to get a refund on this. So I thought, I'm going to pick this up, and I'm actually thinking that I might frame this, because this, for me, marks like there is seriously unfinished business. So anyway, so we went up to my sister's in Watford on the Friday night and had a nice evening. We left after work, had a cup of tea, had a piece of cake, had some chats, which was lovely, had a leisurely morning, and then got the train up on Saturday morning into London to go to the exhibition. So the place that all the runners go before the race starts, to collect their number, collect their vest, and go around this kind of like this running expo to, I guess, soak up all the atmosphere. And honestly, it was horrible. It was like, for me, just a reminder really of like everybody there with their story, running their marathon, and it was just really hard. I'm going to be honest, that's the only way I can describe it. It was really hard to watch everybody nervous, excited. Will I get my personal best? Will I get to the finish line? And honestly, I found it crushing. And I know it sounds really stupid to say this, and obviously there's it's just a race, it's just a run, it's not a big deal, but actually, I pour so much of my time and attention and thought process to running. Like I really, it is such a big part of my life, and so to not be able to run and to walk around an event and everybody saying, "Oh, good luck tomorrow," and some people I was just like, look, I'm not even running. I think the only thing I could say is I felt like a complete fraud. I feel like a fraud wearing this t-shirt, because am I the class of 2024? No, I didn't run it, I didn't finish it, I didn't earn the prize. I have this pristine race number that hasn't been sweat all over and hasn't been cried on. I just have this emptiness and this void. So walked around chatted to a couple of people on different stands, went and chatted to Sarah on the Ben Park stand, and you know, had a little chat with her, which was lovely. Didn't really have the confidence to say hi to Ben Parks, who greatly admire and greatly respect, but in that moment just felt like a big fucking failure, and so couldn't bring myself to wait. There were loads of other people that were talking to him who were going to be going off and running their amazing marathons the next day, and I just felt like a complete fake. And we went off. We actually decided on the, you know, Laura and I were there together. It felt so flat, so unbelievably flat, and just thought, look, what can we do? How can we make this weekend fun? Had a little look online to see, you know, if there was any kind of live music or comedy in London that night. Could we find a ticket? We actually managed to find some tickets for Peter Kay at the O2 for last night, and so we quickly snapped those up and just thought, right, we're going to have some fun. We're going to try and get me out of this funk, because honestly, I suffer with depression and anxiety anyway. I'm medicated for it, and you know, running is my way of dealing with my emotions. It's my way of controlling my emotions, and to some extent it gives me a place where I can process my life and process my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings. And so not having that has been, you know, really tough over the last 6 weeks. One of the ways that I've dealt with my disappointment this weekend is I've binged eaten. I've been eating every cake. I had multiple donuts yesterday. Went to this amazing donut shop. I bought the donut that I wanted. Laura bought the one that she wanted, and then I bought a just in case donut, just in case I didn't like the one that I'd chosen, which, as it happens, I didn't. And I ate this other donut as well. We went out, had loads of food. I've eaten loads on the way home from London today because I was feeling just super depressed and fed up. And, you know, it's really hit me. And I'm putting this video out because I want to be honest publicly. Look, I know that very few people will watch this far, and that's okay. But some of you might, and that's great. And so hopefully it will encourage you. But you know, like I said, I just want to be honest. I want to tell you my story. So we had dinner. And honestly, like, you could have cut the tension with a knife. You know, Laura and I didn't really talk. Laura knew how desperately sad I was feeling, how desperately disappointed I was. Highlight on a side was I was wearing my Watergate Studios hoodie, because I am a true Watergate Studios kind of fan boy. And someone tapped me on the shoulder as I was waiting to go on the Emirates skyline and said, "You go to Watergate Studios?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And they were like, "You're PKS." So worldwide fame has finally caught up with me. So that was super excited. Anyway, an aside, it was very nice to meet the Atwoods live. Anyway, so yeah, we went to watch Peter Kay, and that was just like so cathartic, just laughing. It was such fun. I think there was a lot of emotion there. We'd had a couple of drinks, and always kind of had the intention initially that I would go and get up and at least go to the start line this morning, and that would always been the plan. Maybe even walk the first couple of miles, have my bib on, etc. And look, I just didn't fit. I just couldn't do it. And so slept in, had breakfast, and got on the train, and came home. Didn't see a single marathon runner. Saw lots of people on the trains talking about when they were going to be seeing their friends, and I wanted to be the guy that was big enough to say to go and cheer everybody else on, but I just couldn't do it. I just wanted to come home and see my girls and be back with them and not be reminded of my pain and frustration. But it's really given me an opportunity to think and reflect. I have had this sort of on-off relationship with running over the years, and this last 6 weeks, this is the longest I've not run for a very, very long time. Last year I ran every day bar about 7 of the year. So, this has been a real thing for me, and I really, really, really want to do this. I want to now get this London Marathon, and I don't want to do it for charity. I want to do it on a good for age qualifying time. That time that I need to beat has been reduced by 5 minutes, so I now need to work extra hard if I want to get my London Marathon place. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know when that's going to happen, but if it's going to be next year, then I'm going to need to run a very comfortably Sub-3 marathon in the autumn. And if it's going to happen, later on, it's going to need to be sooner. So this is the start of a new journey and a new era of PKS runs. I know that there's been, the YouTube content is kind of hit and miss, and I'm sorry about that. I don't have a whole lot of time to record videos, and maybe part of that has been I've tried to do the kind of like the videos whilst I'm running, and I want to be like the Ben Parks and the Kofuzis and the guys that are really good at kind of capturing live and in the moment stuff, and I kind of do that a little bit on Instagram, but maybe just telling a bit of the story is more useful. And so over the next few months I'm really going to be thinking about, well, what does it look like to be a Sub-3 marathoner? Because I think one of the things that I'm going to need to adopt is a bit of a lifestyle of a Sub-3 marathoner. So I need to get through this injury, and actually not running is exactly the right thing to do. It is exactly what I need to do. But I need to also act and think and behave like a Sub-3 marathoner, because one of the things that was glaringly obvious walking around is there are and I don't even know how to say this without sounding like a complete arsehole, but there are runners, like runners who are there to perform, achieve, they're like really in it for the athletics, and then you've got like the fun runners or the charity runners, and all respect and hats off to all of those guys who do this, and they don't really like running. They did it because their mate dared them in the pub and they were drunk and they signed up, and it's like, oh shit, I've actually got my place, I've got to do it. But for some of us, running a marathon consumes us. If you're a marathon runner and you've targeted Sub-3, you know what this feels like. It's all consuming, and I'm going to run with it for a little bit. Pardon the pun. I'm going to run with it. I'm going to jump into the all-consumingness. But historically, I've focused on just the running. Since moving to Bridgewater, I added in the gym so that I could, I guess, add the strength and, all over body conditioning, which theoretically was going to help me with injuries. I've been working through some other stuff that has caused some injuries, but I now want to take a really holistic look at recovery, cross-training, sleep, diet, nutrition, positive mindset, and really kind of focus myself on, if the goal is London Marathon 2025 or 2026, what's the kind of lifestyle that I need to live to be that? And I think it's interesting, I was listening to Jimmy Carr on Diary of a CEO, and he was saying, what's the gift that you'd want to give your 50-year-old self? And if it's that London Marathon 2:55, for example, well, the steps to get there are gonna be early mornings, discipline. He wasn't talking about the London Marathon, but this is my translation. Healthy eating, really putting in time and effort. And so, yeah, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about how I can do this, how I can grow, how I can get faster in a sustainable way, in a way that's not going to cause injury. And once again, I'm just going to invite you to come on the journey with me. I know this has been a long video, and I haven't told you, I haven't run the marathon today. I failed on that front, and I know that. But I just hope that somewhere together we can journey again. And here is me. I don't even know if I'm going to edit this. I hope not. I just want to just do something that's just me to the camera. It's like a live, but it's not live. It's just me talking to the camera. And this is my account of the London Marathon. I know that I've got it in me to run. I think I've got a 250 in me. I'd like to think I've got a 245 in me. I'm only 5'8". I'm, the perfect height to run a fast marathon. I'm a bit chunky, I'll be honest. I'm carrying a little bit of extra weight. I don't think that needs to be an issue if it's the right kind of weight, if it's really strong, muscular weight. And so I'm going to keep lifting at the gym. I'm going to keep bulking, where I need to bulk. And I want to shed a little bit where I can shed. And come and join the journey. I'm going to talk about food. I'm going to talk about everything. This is kind of like PKS Runs V2. For those of you who kind of subscribed ages ago and you've been like the OG part of the family, thank you so much. I do genuinely enjoy making videos. I really enjoy talking. I enjoy creating content. I've actually, built relationships through this. I had a guy, Calvin, for dinner a couple of weeks ago, who I met at the Manchester Marathon and did an interview on this channel, and he came and had dinner with me, and I actually gave him a couple of pairs of my running shoes because I bought them and they were slightly too small for me, but they were perfect for him, and he actually ran in them in the Paris Marathon. So it's like, this has been such a great story, and I do hear, I get messages from people, I get emails from people who are encouraged by what I share and just say thank you so much. And so, I just want to keep on going. I want this to grow, so please do tell people about this channel. Please do tell people about my Instagram. The more people that are watching, the more incentive there is for me to actually post stuff, because I know that there are people that are interested in it. And with that, I'm just going to say goodbye. London, thank you. I'm sure today was brilliant. Congratulations to everybody who ran the London Marathon. I suspect that you're having that amazing feeling, that elation. You're probably hurting. You might have come away crushed by it. You may have come away and you have absolutely crushed it. And regardless, I take my hat off to you and reveal this horrific hair. So I'll put it back on. But I take my hat off to all of you who got out there and ran today. You are marathon runners. You're amazing. I'm insanely jealous. And you better believe that I'm going to be there another year and I'm going to crush the London Marathon.